Hello, primary 4 students. How are you? Welcome to your science class. As now, we will study lesson 4 from concept 1, unit 4. So, are you ready? Yes. This is me, Shaimaa Hamdy, and you are watching the Big Sister channel. So, we will start with activity 9, erosion. You know erosion, yes? Yes. When large rocks are broken down into small parts, this is weathering, yes? And the next step is erosion. So, in this process, the small particles, the sediments, of sand, soil, rocks, are moved to another place by wind, water, and gravity. So, this is erosion. Moving the small particles into another place is erosion. Okay? As now we will see the action of wind. Erosion. The wind may be gentle wind or strong wind, yes? As if they're gentle wind, so it will carry the sand grains for a short distance because the wind isn't strong, so it will carry the sediments small distance, but if it is strong wind and hurricane, and you will see the hurricane, so here it can carry the sediments for longer distance, As you see here, this is an example for gentle wind, Here, if this sand will move by the gentle wind, so it will move for small distance, But here, as you see here, this is hurricane, hurricane, So it can move the sediments for a longer distance, yes? Now we will talk about the action of water erosion, as it may be river and floods, or it may be sea waves or rain. All of these are water that can move the sediments to make erosion for the rock. We will start with the rivers and floods, As rivers and floods can carry the sand, the soil, and the rocks downstream, As you know that the rivers move from upstream to downstream, as you see here in this drawing, So rivers and floods carry sediments downstream, Okay. Also, now we will talk about the sea waves, as the sea waves pull the sand away from the beaches, As it takes the sands from the beaches, As you see here, So is it clear that the waves pull the sand away from the beaches? And the last action of water is the rain, the action of rain in erosion, as rain washes away soil farms located beside downhills, as downhills is something that is high and has slope, as you see here, and when the rain falls, it takes some of these soil, and carry these soil particles, downhill, as you see here. Now we saw the action of wind, gentle wind, and strong wind on erosion, and we saw the action of water, as it may be the action of rivers and floods, or sea waves, or rain. Now it's a time for gravity, as now we will see the action of gravity erosion. As you know that the gravity pulls things towards the Earth's surface, towards the ground, yes? So here, the broken, weathered rocks in a mountain can be pulled down at mountain sides by the effect of gravity, as if the mountain rocks are broken, so now the gravity can pulls these smaller rocks into the mountainside, okay, at the bottom of the mountain, okay? As you see here, the gravity pulls the broken, weathered rocks in a mountain to be moved into what the mountain sides, as you see here, okay? So, you know, the word sediments. Sediments are small, solid materials, as sand, as soil, and small particles of rocks. All of these, we call it sediments, okay? So, sediments are moved by wind and water and settle, okay, on the surface of land, okay, stopped on the surface of land or the bottom of water bodies as seas and lakes. So these sediments, even it will, after it moves, it's stopped or settled on the surface of land or in the bottom of water body as sea, as lake, as river, okay? So here, the first picture is sediments settle on the land surface. And here, this is the second picture, as sediments settle on the bottom of water bodies, okay? We can see the evidence that left by the erosion, as we can see that there are rocks moved from this place, okay? After hundreds and thousands or millions of years. So erosion takes very long period to be happen. See difference in this place, okay? Now we will go to activity 10, deposition, okay? As now we studied the weathering process, the breaking down of the rocks, yes, and the second process, which is erosion, moving these weathered rocks by wind, water, or gravity. And now these sediments will stop in some place, okay? So when these sediments settle down, even in land or in a water body, so this is deposition, okay? Deposition as the process of laying down of sediments after its erosion, okay? So the process of laying down the sediments called deposition, okay? Now we will take examples of the three processes: weathering, erosion, and deposition. As you see here, this drawing, okay? First, the wind blows, it picks up sand into the air, okay? It carries the sand, okay? So this is weathering, okay? After that, the wind moves. The sand may travel to new place, okay? So this is the erosion process. As here, the wind moves the sand, carries the sand to another place. And then we have the third process. When the wind stops blowing, the sand falls onto the ground and deposit, okay, in this place, okay? As you see here, the wind blows and carries the sand, so this is erosion, okay? And it takes this sand to another place, and when the wind stops blowing, so the sand falls in this place and deposit in this place, and this is the position. As you see here, the sand deposit in desert, okay, forming sand dunes, okay, okay. Also, water can carry sediments, okay? As these sediments is broken from a rock, and then the water carry these sediments, so this is erosion, and these sediments will settle in another place, so this is a deposition. And this happens in the formation of delta, as delta is the place that the deposition of sediments happens there, okay? As you see here, as the Nile Delta, okay? As here, the river flows, okay, carrying these sediments, and then these sediments settle or lay down in this place, okay, forming a land different from the others called delta, okay? So here, see some examples to see how the deposition affects the shape of land, okay? We will talk about the action of water deposition and the action of wind deposition. As in the water deposition, we saw the formation of delta, and this is a land that has a shape different from the others, and also the action of the sea waves that pulls the sand, okay, away from the beach. Also, in the action of the wind in deposition, as it can form small sand dunes if the wind is not strong, and if the wind is strong, so it can form large sand dunes, and these have different shape from the other land, okay? Okay, now we will talk about them in some details, okay? Action of water in deposition. Running water in rivers, as you saw, play an important role in deposition process, such as we know the formation of delta, okay? And also, a river can deposit a sandbar along its banks. Banks mean sides, okay? As the river can deposit sediments on its sides, okay? Okay, so this is how the running water in rivers has an important role in the deposition, as the river can deposit sandbar along its side, okay? It can deposit some sediments along its banks or sides, okay? As you see here in first picture. And when a river carries sediments meet a sea, these sediments are deposited in this area forming delta, okay? So this about the action of water in deposition process, okay? Now we will talk in some details about delta, as it is a fan shaped, as you see here, it looks like a fan, so it's a fan shaped or triangle shaped because it looks like a triangle or a fan, okay? Mass of mud and other sediments, okay? So it is composed of mud and other sediments that forms when the river meets or enters a large water body as sea, okay? As here, the Nile River meets the Mediterranean Sea, so here the sediments settle down, forming the Nile Delta. And this consists of what? A mass of mud and sediments, okay? The action of water in deposition as the sea waves. We mentioned also that the sea waves move the sand from one place to another, okay? And these sand settle down in the bottom of the sea, okay? So now we finish the action of water, even it is river, as the river forming delta, and also river carries the sediments along the sandbar on the banks of the river, or the sea waves that moves the sand from the beach into another place, okay? As it can be settled in the bottom of the sea, okay? Now we will talk about the action of wind in the deposition process. As weak and strong wind play an important role in the deposition process, as weak winds can form small sand dunes as the beach, okay? And the strong winds can form large sand dunes as in the deserts, as the Western Desert in Egypt, ربع الخالي in Arabian Peninsula, and in Sula Peninsula, okay? As you see here, this is the small sand dunes that formed by the weak wind, okay, as the beaches, yes? And here, the large sand dunes that formed by the strong winds as the Western Desert in Egypt. Also as the large sand dunes that formed by the strong winds in ربع الخالي in the Arabian Peninsula. Okay? So now we know the deposition process and how the wind and water affect the deposition as forming the delta and forming sand dunes. Those are the evidence of the deposition process. Okay? With this information, we finish our lesson. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my channel. See you next video. Inshallah, and goodbye.